This week on Road Trip, we're going whale watching. Wandering on over to the Wild Wild West.
In the heart of the East.
And we're getting a peek inside the workings of the West Wing. Well, sort of. We're getting wet, really wet. I'll take the wheel because it's road trip time.
Deputies, are you ready?
Yeah!
Hello and welcome to Road Trip. I'm Shannon Lanier. For the next few minutes, sit back and relax because we're taking you on some local adventures that'll put a little sizzle in your summer. We're off on an amazing road trip to a water park that's so much more. Water rides, activities, and food, all at one location. There's even a hotel so you never have to leave. It's Kalahari Resorts and Conventions, located in the Pocono Mountains, Pennsylvania. Less than 2 hours from New York, Kalahari is a full-service vacation destination that my family couldn't wait to visit. From the moment you walk in, you'll experience the magic of their African-themed resorts. After checking into our room, the next stop was the water park. And don't worry, parents, the water park admission is included in your resort stay. And you'll definitely need more than one day because Kalahari is one of the largest indoor water parks in the country. It's 220,000 square feet of wet and wild fun at 84 degrees year-round.
They have tons of slides! I love the lazy river. It's the flow rider for me. Go, Dad!
If that's not enough, they also have an outdoor water park.
Oh, look over there!
Playing at the water park all day definitely works up an appetite, and they have plenty of dining options. So what do you guys want to do next?
Zip lining. Also the rope course. Definitely the water park again.
Listen, after all this, I'm going to need to go to the spa.
You can also play glow-in-the-dark mini golf in the jungle. Or beat your family at over 250 games in the arcade. Whatever you do, it's safe to say you'll never want to leave.
So let's stay longer.
Yeah!
Wow, that place really does have everything. The kids never wanted to leave. But we had to go on to our next stop. And for this one, we took to the high seas, and this is an adventure that we'll never forget. We're making waves with the gentle giants of the sea. Get on board and let's go. Have you guys ever seen a whale before?
Yeah, on TV and YouTube.
Well, today we're gonna try to see one in real life.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard the Captain Lou Fleet's Atlantic Pearl. I'm Captain Nick. This is Naturalist Steve. Welcome aboard, guys.
You guys ready to go whale watching? Yeah! All right.
So how many whales do you usually see a day?
Well, although there's no guarantee, on average, on my trips, I've seen 1 to 3. Normally what we do is we sometimes call out to other ships, see if there's been any sightings in the area. Otherwise, we follow a route that we've been successful on before. We're out for 4 hours. During the trip, besides looking for whales, we look for other marine life. Sometimes we see sea turtles. Sometimes we see other types of fish.
Will we see any sharks?
There's a possibility. We never know what we see, but we might. So you have to keep your eyes out, look for the fins.
Lucky for us, Captain Lou Fleet has been giving tours since 1956, so we were only out in the Atlantic for about 20 minutes before we saw a school of dolphins.
Look at the dolphin!
Look how cool that is.
It only got better after that because 30 minutes later we spotted 2 whales that spent like the next 45 minutes hanging out with us.
One of the main reasons they breach is to communicate. So it's possible when we saw the whale breach, it was trying to look for the other whale.
It was just amazing seeing the whales jump that high.
Anytime we come out here, it's unique. 2 whales working together tandemly like that, swimming together, feeding together. That's special.
Just remember to bring your jacket because it gets a little cold, your binoculars so you can see far, and your patience because it could take a while. Bye! Wow, that was so magical. Okay, saddle up, road trippers, because it is time to go off to the Wild Wild West with Amanda Lee. Giddy up!
On this week's road trip close to home, we're taking you to the Wild West.
Our park has been open since 1957. It is a Western reenactment park. We do about 22 to 24 shows a day. We really try and create an atmosphere that is, you walked back into the Wild West. And you're here, and you can join the shootouts, and you can watch these Western legends come back to life. And so we like to think of it almost as interactive theater, bringing these people into it.
We just got our Wild West City stagecoach held up. Those outlaws got away with $10,000 worth of gold. No one's too young or too old to help us out. We got to get our first posse of the day sworn in. Deputies, are you ready?
Yeah!
So on top of being shows, we also do different interactive activities for young children, but also for adults. And also we have plenty of museums and shops around, so it's an educational experience as well as an entertainment experience.
Okay, look at that circle. You see that?
We really try and be in character as much as possible, where the cowboys are always in character and they're always trying to reach out, and whether they're good guys or bad guys, there's always going to be a different, unique experience for every customer that comes through the door.
Yeehaw! Looks like we need to mosey on down to check out one of those shows. Well, it's time to live lake life for a day on a pontoon in Putnam County. Here's how to explore Lake Mahopac with Nikita Ramos.
Lake Mahopac, as picturesque as it gets.
We try to make the experience very, very vacation-like right from the minute you get there.
Thanks to Mahopac Marina, your staycation starts now.
We are on one of 7 pontoon boats with Mahopac Marina that you can rent and explore everything that Lake Mahopac has to offer.
Boating is one of the most relaxing activities people can do.
And this family-owned business gives you that chance with its fleet of pontoons. No experience required.
We show you how to anchor it, we show you how to drive the boat back and forth to the dock, and if you need something, you call.
It's that simple once you're briefed. Full throttle, you're only going about 5 miles per hour, so you are cruising in these views.
The sensation you get of being on the water, I mean, look what we're doing right now. I mean, floating along, enjoying what we're having, and it's effortless.
Mahopac Marina is open 6 days a week to either walk in or reserve a pontoon with up to 12 people. It's a great way to live the local lake life for a day.
Everyone is wowed at the beauty of Lake Mahopac, where we are, and that especially if you live within an hour of us, that you can come and do this and spend the day, they're blown away by it.
But your staycation doesn't end there.
We encourage people to come in to enjoy the lake for the day, and then if you've had a day where you've had a lot of fun and you want to keep it going, go to a local restaurant, finish your day out there, have a nice dinner, and then wrap it up.
Back at the dock and up the road is Lake House Restaurant and Bar. It's a local business that serves up delicious Italian-American dishes.
We are topping the day off with a salmon risotto dish with incredible views on the water. Summer really doesn't get better than this on this road trip close to home. In Mahopac, Nikita Ramos, News 12.
Now that's a lake life that I could get used to. In 1827, a lighthouse was built on Norwalk's Sheffield Island to mark the dangerous ledges at the entrance to the city's harbor. Come along on this road trip with Rebecca Saran to visit the historic maritime treasure.
Off the coast of Norwalk sits 53 acres known as Sheffield Island, with its 156-year-old beacon by the sea.
We're welcome with a stunning osprey nest.
Absolutely. This house was built in 1868.
Gershom Smith, his wife, and 12 children lived in this small cottage on the island in the early 1800s. Smith was the first lighthouse keeper. By the late 1850s, Connecticut had become a bustling center for trade. So in 1867, Congress ordered a new lighthouse be built.
And is it granite that it's made of?
It's made out of granite. All the stone came out of Southington, Connecticut, out of the quarries there. And the building itself is stone, but the tower is cast iron. There's 50 steps from the base all the way to the tower.
Can you do it?
And he would have to go with a 5-gallon pail of kerosene at least 3 times a night to fill the lamp. He would fill the basin here.
The base?
All right, and then that's what the chimney is. This is basically a chimney.
The point of this ledge, though, which
It's basically so they can wash the windows.
And the reason why you had to wash the windows was
to keep the glass clear so that mariners could see the light.
It has such an important role in the commerce in the city of Norwalk. All the materials that they're used for manufacturing and those finished products were moved in and out of the harbor, so they had to have a guiding light.
Sheffield Light was decommissioned in 1904. It no longer guides mariners, but thanks to the Norwalk Seaport Association, it still stands as a once guardian by the sea.
Welcome back to Road Trip. I'm Shannon Lanier. You know, life is like a teacup to be filled to the brim and enjoyed with friends. So Jordan Kisane is taking us to a Brooklyn teacup treasure trove where you can design one-of-a-kind pieces.
It's just down these stairs on the garden level of one Park Slope apartment where one woman's trash becomes another woman's tea party treasure.
We think it's so meaningful to take things that were of family significance and turn them into practical and functional things versus having them stuck in storage.
Nearly 8,000 pieces of upcycled china from all around the world line the walls here at the Brooklyn Teacup, where guests can take their tea party pics and design their very own candles, ring dishes, and even tiered trays.
We have dinner plates, we have saucers, we have bread plates, we have dessert plates, we have salad plates, we have demi-tasse cups, we have teacups, we have cream soup bowls, we have serving bowls.
All pieces they've collected from people downsizing, cleaning out, or even grieving.
I inherited some china that I remember having tea parties, like, pretend tea parties with my grandmother with when I was 4 or 5 years old. Do I want the service for 12 Wedgwood set, in my Brooklyn apartment? No, I don't have room for it. But I want to think about Granny every time I'm, using these pieces.
It's an ode to nostalgia for young and old everywhere.
Start with something that really appeals to you, and then we treasure hunt to fill in the blanks.
With Ariel's help, we got to mixin' and matchin', sorting through dozens of pieces of delicate, diverse china, each piece with its own special story.
It's a form of connection. It's a funny medium for connection.
To learn how to give new life to your old treasures, head to news12.com. In Park Slope, I'm Jordan Kisane.
That's one place the Mad Hatter would definitely love. Situated in a beautiful park at the foot of Greenwich Avenue, the Bruce Museum was originally built as a private home in 1853. Now home to a rotating exhibit featuring art, science, and natural history. Photojournalist Lori Goliath takes us on a tour.
We are in the Bruce Museum in Greenwich, Connecticut.
The Bruce has so much for just about everyone. So if you have small children, we have live animals. We have turtles and fish and crustaceans. In our marine gallery, we have a model, life-size, of a dinosaur that lived in Connecticut 200 million years ago. So we are in the golden hour, Jennifer Angus's new exhibition at the Bruce Museum.
Jennifer Angus is what I would say surprise and delight.
As you enter the Cabinet of Curiosities, you feel like you're entering an old Victorian mansion with this elaborate, ornate wallpaper. But as you get closer, you'll notice that these are actually all insects. These are real insects, thousands of them pinned in these geometric patterns on the wall.
So this exhibit is devoted to the work of Andy Warhol, who's one of the most celebrated artists of the 20th century.
He was a self-promoter. If he were alive today, he probably would be one of the most famous influencers.
The works that are on view are all small in scale, and that is something that is really distinctive about this exhibition. One thing that's so fascinating about that is that Warhol is known for his more monumental work, and yet he was producing many of the same subjects at a very small and intimate scale. And what that does for our visitors is it provides a really intimate viewing experience and perhaps a new understanding of Warhol's overall career.
He was extremely creative. He was a real talent. He was very diversified. His art changed over time.
Warhol is probably best known for the way that he adapted the photographic silkscreen technique. And the way he used that was that he appropriated images and was able to mass produce images, but also to create unique works in multiple iterations. And I think by working on a smaller scale, Warhol was able to really expand those ideas and produce even more work. And the flowers is the perfect example of that idea because he produced more than 900 canvases devoted to this single theme. The most surprising thing in this exhibition are seeing some of his religious themed works. So we have a series of paintings on display that were painted at the very end of his life, commemorating Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. And a lot of those works are sort of enmeshed with the AIDS epidemic that was happening in the 1980s.
This exhibit is a regional high school juried exhibit that we have every year called I Create.
And people do flock here to see the art because they're just so talented.
It's very impactful to see an image and then read what the student was thinking, why they created it.
Come here, cool down, enjoy art, bring your kids.
They can, go outside into the park and see King Nyani, our gorilla. So there's a lot to do, especially on a hot day. Come to the Bruce.
Were you fans of the hit show West Wing? The Paley Museum has an immersive behind-the-scenes exhibit to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the show's release. The show earned 27 Emmy wins during its 7-year run. The political drama gives an intimate look at the presidential administration and the inner workings of the White House. Scan the QR code for more. The Yale Peabody Museum in New Haven has opened a completely new gallery to visit, the Hall of the Pacific. For the first time, the Peabody is exhibiting an extensive collection of artwork, photographs, and historical artifacts that celebrate Pacific Islander communities. The 250 objects on display include a carved seagoing canoe, elaborate facade paintings that adorn a ceremonial house in New Guinea, and decorated shields used in battle. For more information, scan the QR code. Kids Night on Broadway is back. On Tuesday, August 20th, select from 19 Broadway shows where kids 18 and under can attend participating Broadway shows for free. That's right, for free, when accompanied by a full-paying adult. For a list of shows and for when tickets go on sale, scan that QR code.